I really love that intro music. I do.
Yeah.
I find myself jamming out to it. And I want to speak highly of it when Jody's not around because I don't want him that.
Yeah, no.
It's big enough
Yeah,
as it is. You know what I mean?
exactly. It
So,
barely fits on the screen, but it's
you know, he keeps having to get bigger and bigger hats. That's why he was giving his other ones away. You know. Anyway, hi guys, David here with the Whiskey Rebellion. Thank you guys for joining us for our little weekly hangout. Just having a good time tonight. We do have a topic. We might even stick to it for a few minutes. But in the meantime, gents, how y'all doing? And what are you drinking tonight? Gino, what's up?
Nothing fancy tonight. One of the old standards and standbys. We got Michter Straight Rye.
Nice.
Delicious. It's got all the notes. It's very delicious rye. If you have not tried a Michter's rye, you're missing out.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a good solid pour anytime.
Yep.
Basically. Any like especially the base Michter's products are good stuff.
Yeah.
So here's
one of. Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. It's one of those ryes that's always on my shelf. I'm never out of Michter's rye.
I hear that. All right, Billy, what you drinking?
So first and foremost, let me say this. Glad to be back on the show. And I don't know what happened, but I cannot see you guys for whatever reason. I don't know if you guys can see me.
We can see and hear you just fine.
Yeah, you're fine, man.
Did you put yourself in like maximized view or something?
I don't know. I have to figure it out. I'll get back to it in a second. But I'm having some PBR.
That's what's up.
Tonight, just taking it easy. I've actually taken a little bit of break from drinking, not for any particular reason. Nothing's wrong. It's just a matter of allowing my palate to kind of recover, if you will.
Yes.
I feel that.
So with cooking every day, I've kind of grown this habit of having to drink early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about somebody's day who sometimes starts at 11 o'clock at night. So it'll be 12:31 o'clock, and I'm pouring myself something because my day is already rolling. The smoke is going, the briskets are in. So I decided I don't want that to become an issue. Not that it has, but I found myself being in 4 or 5 drinks before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, only because my day is starting so much more earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to climb back down that mountain so I can actually start to enjoy bourbons and stuff like that again. And I don't know about you guys, but the last 2 weeks here in South Florida, we've been with triple digits every day.
Jeez. No, so we haven't had it that hot. It's been mostly like low 90s.
99, 98, 97. But the kicker is, let's say I start my day at midnight, right? It's already 80, 82 degrees.
Yeah, when it's night out, it should be a little bit cooler, I think.
I
think that's supposed to be, yeah. Yeah, it
right.
should be like 70s at night for sure.
Right, but it's not the case. Like I can't even tell you the last time here in South Florida that we've had 70s, we've had heat advisories. When it gets like this, even the power company will issue an alert letting folks know, hey, we know times are tough for everybody, but just know we're not going to be cutting off your power due to non-payment because can you imagine not having AC in this kind of weather?
South Florida in the middle of July?
Yeah. So our older and our really fragile and vulnerable community would be in very danger. Can you imagine an infant stuck in a house with no AC and it's 97 degrees in the house?
Yeah,
that's not even humane.
Dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. So for that reason, I've just been taking it easy, trying to keep more hydrated, having more of a cool drink. But that's really about it. And PBR, Coors, Banquet, and what's the other one that I like? What I consider to be barbecue beer. So, like a standard. If you go to a barbecue joint, they should always have PBR. They should always have some form of Coors. And there's another one I can't remember it off the top of my head right now, but Yeah, that's what you
Like the more standard, like Pilsner type beers.
yeah,
Like,
somewhere along those
like
lines.
kind of good for knocking back.
Yeah, where they're not heavy. Like a lager would be
Yeah.
too heavy for
Right.
barbecue.
Yeah, a light
mean-
American Pilsner is what you're looking
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you tried to have a beef short rib, which is nice and fatty and rich, can you imagine trying to put like uh, a Guinness down next to that?
Yeah, it's just it's too much,
Yeah, way
Like
too much.
it's too much heaviness. You want something to
Yeah.
lighten it up. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about like a cider or something like that?
You have to have a
Too much
taste for
sweetness?
cider.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, here in South Florida, and a lot of stuff is regional, you know. So it's crazy because Foster's does well in South Florida, Red Stripe does well in South Florida, but not Guinness. Corona is the number one seller, Heineken, but we like the stuff. We like light beers, something that's not too heavy that even in the hot sun would be refreshing. You know,
Yeah. Lawnmower
Um,
beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So ciders would probably have to be more towards the cooler time of year,
Gotcha.
and it would have to be a really good one because we do have a fair amount of breweries down here, and there's a selection, but we don't do the heavy stuff as where, say, up in Boston. You know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So out west, uh, the fat tires and stuff like that, they do well. The funky Buddhas do well because we have that bougie edge to us down in South Florida. But I can tell you one thing that does absolutely horrible here: Budweiser. Budweiser doesn't sell down here very much.
Is there? What do you attribute that to exactly?
I attribute it to one, we have a better selection. Budweiser is an old standby. Budweiser is like the Jack Daniels of beer.
Fair
You can
enough.
find it everywhere,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
is it everybody's first choice? No, not really.
Yeah.
And if you're
Once
any
upon a
kind of
time.
connoisseur, it's
You're not
different.
gonna fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you drink craft beer at all, you're not probably gonna drink a
Right.
Budweiser or
If
whatever.
you're
I mean,
a
I
couple,
would, but
and I'm not even against Budweiser.
Get some natty light, man.
yeah.
But see,
if you put it in my hand and I didn't pay for it,
yeah.
it's gonna get
But,
drank.
It's a good one.
If you and a couple of your teenage friends snag a pizza and somebody managed to get somebody to get them a 6-pack of Budweiser, nobody's going to complain.
Exactly.
Oh no.
It's just the thrill of having it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's what I was saying. Back in the day, Budweiser, yeah, it was cool.
yeah.
And there was one summer while I was in college, I was working up at Cedar Point, running one of the arcades, and they had a distribution. Anheuser-Busch had a distribution point up there, and we could get Natty Light at $2.99 a 12-pack.
Oh wow.
So that was the beer of choice back then. That summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, man, let me tell. I mean, my first year of college, we were just talking about colleges and fraternities and stuff before the show started. Before you joined us there, Billy. I remember my freshman year. I was 21 as a freshman going in, so I was everybody's best friend. They called me Beer Run Dave. And I would have these college kids, like seriously freshman college kids, so they're like 18, 19 years old, come up to me with like a handful of like change and like maybe $1 bill in there to be like, is this enough to get me a 6 of Natty Light? I'm like, oh God damn it. Like this is ridiculous. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun times, and what I also love about
It's funny now, but yeah.
Because for most people, your beer is your introduction into the adult beverages. I can remember being probably under the age of 10, and my uncle Ernest, I'll never forget him, God bless him. He was the first one to give me a sip of beer, and it was Slitch malt liquor beer.
Malt liquor, yeah.
I mean, the stuff was, I don't know how much, but he kept him a good 12-pack of it. And it was always front and center in this refrigerator. So, and I'll never forget it because even I remember the fond memories. He'd take me on a run with him to the store, and he had this beautiful and it wasn't. It was like faded army green with some repair patches in it of just the like putty or whatever you call it. And it was this beautiful Tudor Nova. I'll never forget the car. I can close my eyes and I can picture it. I can hear it. I can feel it. It had seats in the front, bench seats in the back. It was a two-door, but you could still put 6 people in this car easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
And I'll never forget. I could even probably even see over the dashboard. But him, his music, me and him in the car, and my uncle was every bit of a knucklehead. He kept a cigarette in the corner of his mouth and a beer in his hand.
That's hilarious.
So it was a fond memory, but it was a memory where I can tell you, if I was with him, I know I was always safe. He would never let any harm come to me. I can also remember as a kid him giving me a note and like a $5 bill, sending me to the corner store that you could stand on the porch and watch it go into the store. And nobody would question a 10-year-old kid with a note and a $5 bill. And they give you beer.
Everybody knew,
Like, can you imagine if you did that nowadays, the trouble you get in?
No, I
know.
Did the same thing.
My mother used to tell me stories about when she was a kid. Her mom, who was my grandmother, was literally like afraid of like agoraphobic, like literally afraid of like going out and like being in public spaces. And so she was a shut-in. She was also a smoker. So she would send my mom as a child, like
get cigarettes,
maybe 10 years old, maybe to go to the store to buy cigarettes, and they would, because they knew who she was and who her mom was and what she was doing. So they would sell her cigarettes to like a 10-year-old kid. And you imagine today, right?
And the crazy
would not
part
fly
is,
at all.
I can remember a time or two, God only knows how, but I somehow between the house and the store, I lost a note, but the guy still knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good times. And, before we get on the subject of tonight, I do want to give some respect to Budweiser as a beer, because at one time it was a true Americana icon. They built commercials. Who knows? Who could forget
the Clydesdale horses? Exactly.
And the Dalmatian dog in the pull-along carriage.
Yep.
I mean, they said it, and it was true. Budweiser was the king of beer. It was as true as it could be. It
really was. And I'll tell you, I did this. I think the last time I went, I think I was like barely 21 years old. So it's been this long. There's an amusement park in Virginia, and it's called Busch Gardens.
Yeah, we have it in Florida.
By Anheuser-Busch, right? And so they have, one is a great theme park. It was a lot of fun, especially when you go around Halloween and stuff, but neither here nor there. But they have like a beer house, like a legit, they call it Opferhaus or however you pronounce it, but like a German style, like beer hall where you can get the German food. And it's all, of course, Budweiser products and stuff like that. That's the first time I'd been to a place like that. I went hog wild. Like I had a great time at this, just an amusement park, eating the bratwursts and the German potato salad and all that stuff. And, big old, beer in a mug. And this is great. This is fucking great. Like there's nothing to complain about here. Like, this is a good ass time. Like people sneeze on. I mean, obviously there's fancier shit out there, but like, it ain't no
Well, nowadays there is, but back in the day, before craft brewing took off.
Exactly.
Right.
It was the standard.
Yeah, and I didn't drink the Budweiser. I wanted the real Budweiser, like the full calorie beer or whatever.
And Budweiser, I will say this: Budweiser did their best to try to mix things up every now and again. Because remember, they started putting Budweiser that had the special bottle, and you could see the freezing of the bottle and all that. It was kind of a gimmick more than anything else. But if I could say
with Bud Light Lime,
I
will throw that out there. That was trash.
That was horrible.
Garbage.
But if I want to say anything aside from the beer itself, if we all think back, we're all old enough to remember how good times were back then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the differences in the world we live in, where you could send a 10-year-old unaccompaniedly down the street with a note and a $5 bill, and you have zero worries that kid is going to get harmed.
Exactly.
And now
Oh no.
Second
Yeah.
guess.
you can't let your kids out your sight because the internet is
No.
in your house.
Boom.
It's weird
Yes.
like that. Like you invite the world into your house.
Well, I'm one of the last of the boomers. I was born in '64, and that's the last year of boomers. And so we were the precursor for all that Gen X shit you see nowadays.
Right.
We're the ones that taught Gen X how to drink water from the garden hose and why, we were out all day until the streetlights came on. Unless you heard someone yell all three of your names. Then you knew you were effing trouble and
In
get
trouble.
your ass home now.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
you can't do that nowadays.
And it was a thing where, they say it takes a village. That was a real thing because you could catch a stray ass whooping
You
from your neighbors.
you didn't need security cameras because
No.
you always had grandmothers and aunts watching everybody.
Yeah.
And you knew if you screwed up, the word came out and the word made it to your house, you were screwed when you got home.
And that's the kicker. You could get an ass whooping on the house, and then when you
Yep.
got home, you got another one for desserts. It was like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But
Yes, sir.
nowadays, it's weird. That you have to kind of play gentle parenting with your kids, and I don't know if it's something that I ever believed in. And I'm probably a little bit tougher on the two boys than I am my daughter, but I give
Mhm.
everybody shit. But
Yeah.
excuse me, I think you have to not make, but you have to try to get your kids prepared for what the world is and what it's going to be.
Yep.
Because the world has zero chill now. I don't know if they say that anymore, but the world has zero chill. It doesn't
Mhm.
care if you're 15 or 55. It will shit on you all the same, you know?
Yep.
So I don't let the boys get away, and I try to teach them manners and certain things
Yeah.
because to me, I feel like if you can operate a headset, headphones, you got these Oculus goggle things, these
Oh, for the
3D
VR and all
things,
that shit. Yeah.
yeah, computers
Mhm.
like the youngest upstairs. I kid you not, he will operate 4 devices at one time. But I had to kick his ass to show him how to wash a dish. I'm like, come on, bro.
Be surprised, the amount of the things that we
Yeah.
assume as practical skills that we picked up as younger people.
Oh yeah.
That a lot of there's just disconnects. And a big part of it is the fact that our society is very different. It's a lot more isolated. You're talking about like you don't need cameras on your doorbells back in the day because you had neighbors and stuff like that. Nowadays, I don't know if it's true everywhere. It's been true most places I've lived in as an adult. Neighbors don't really know each other. There may be a couple that do, but generally neighbors don't really know each other. I think I could name one neighbor by name on my street
Mm,
currently,
damn.
and I did know others, but they all fucking moved because they couldn't afford. They kept raising rent on everybody, and they all moved out.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah.
anyway. But and the place that I might be going to, I might be bidding on another house very soon.
Sweet.
I keep trying to see if anybody's out, so I can be like, hey, do you guys like the neighborhood? That kind of thing. Just try to talk to people, who are in that area. My folks keep asking me to do this too, and I'm looking. You never find anybody, and people that you
No.
do see, they don't look like they want to be approached by anybody. So
Yeah.
it's
I agree. And
it's just
kind of
different.
sad. It's
You know?
It's
for me, it's kind of sad because even that was one of the reasons when my wife and I relocated to where we are now here in West Virginia, and we purposely avoided even small towns.
Oh,
We are out in BFE here, as you can see here in the background here. I'm
yeah,
seeing
it looks
my
woodsy
recording.
back there. So I didn't realize
Yeah.
first of all, and just how far out there you
but
were. And that's a beautiful setup,
we're
by the
out
way.
there.
It's like you're in
But
a cabin all
we're
the time.
out we're out there for a reason. And
Yeah.
see, like you were saying, you don't know I know everybody on this road, and everybody
Yeah.
knows me. And it's like we were just away, my fraternity, we had our alumni reunion this past weekend, and there were packages delivered. My neighbor, which you can't see because all the trees and all the woods, about a quarter mile down the road,
Sure.
grabbed my packages for me and left us a voicemail saying, "Hey, your packages are down here. We got them in there. They're in the breezeway. Just come pick them up when you get back."
Nice.
You can't do that in an urban environment nowadays,
No.
or even in a small town,
Yeah.
No,
because people
You
don't
get your
talk to each other anymore.
no, and
Fucking porch pirates or whatever.
to two things.
Yeah.
One of the things that Gino said was his generation taught the Gen Xers. That first, I don't think that's happening very much anymore. That's why I think
No.
they're so much different. And Gino, you live in a neighborhood. I live in a development.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real.
It's
And
different. Yeah.
It's
Factual.
two different things because, like David was saying, I know the neighbor on this side of me. So we're in a townhouse. I know this neighbor on this side of me, the other side, and the two corners. It's almost like a cul-de-sac because you can only make a left-hand turn. That's the end of the story. But those are the only people I can tell you I know by name, or if I'll be coming out early in the morning and I'll see the garage door open, I'm comfortable enough to go knock on their door and say, "Hey, I just saw you, heads up. I don't know if you went to sleep, whatever, but your garage door's open."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, I went out there last night and totally, you know." And it's
Right.
one of those things where our neighbors on both sides of me, if we go out of town, we tell each other, you know.
hmm
And we have this thing where, say, garbage comes on Tuesday, right? And if I walk out the
hmm
house and garbage has already came, I
Mhm.
pull everybody's garbage can off the sidewalk because that's what we do. But
Yeah.
like Gino was saying, Gino knows his neighbors. Here,
hmm
I live in a development, so it's totally different.
Yeah.
So if whatever reason, if I go to Gino's house, everybody's gonna know I'm there 10 minutes before I get there. Everybody's gonna
hmm
know it.
That's what it's like. I mean, when I go to Jody's place, I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, tell your neighbor not to shoot me when I'm coming up the road." All right.
But that is such a beautiful thing because the village take care of itself.
Yeah.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's why we were in a suburb of Alexandria, suburb of Woodbridge, when we
Mhm.
were living down in Northern Virginia,
Yeah.
and
I know
everybody
that.
was living on top of each other. We lived in a nice, beautiful apartment, kind of like a little condo situation down there. It was good for the wife. She was like a block and a half from the school she taught at.
That is
And
nice.
but we did not know for the whole year and a half we lived there who our neighbors were.
Yeah.
Never met them, never
Yeah.
saw them,
Yeah.
and we both decided when we were relocating back to this area, yeah, we wanted what we missed from being younger and the
Yeah.
feel that we had, and we've got that here now. Thank God, it's beautiful. I
And
wouldn't change it for the world.
I can tell you this. I've set goals for myself to have like what you have, Gino, because I heard somebody say it the other day. I used to enjoy people, but people messed it up.
Mm.
Yeah, no, yeah, you got it in a nutshell.
That
You
And
know?
that is on
that was
point as
one of the
fuck.
things when we were house hunting in this area. It was like, yeah, you really want to? Yes, we really want to live way the hell out there,
Yeah,
and
Mm.
we love it. Wouldn't change it for anything.
that's it. All right, Mr. Porras, tell us what we got going on tonight.
Well, first of all, what I'm drinking tonight, bust
Yes,
out
sir.
the old Breckenridge.
Breckenridge, good
Yeah.
That's
stuff.
not bad. That's good
It's been,
stuff. Yeah, man.
this is an old bottle. I was actually just telling a friend of mine about this. She asked me what I was drinking, and I said, well, "This." She's like, "Well, I don't know it." I was like, "This. I've had this for a good long time. This is probably one of the oldest bottles I have, actually."
They make, yeah.
And it's great. I don't see this really, honestly, on shelves very often. But it's been a good one. This is the Distiller's high proof blend, so it's 105 proof, so not like super hot or anything, but it's nice. It's like the way I would describe it, it's super caramelly, like
Oh,
that caramel
nice.
flavor is very strong, but it's also peppery, like throughout, lightly. So it's there beginning,
Okay.
middle, and finish, versus like hitting you hard with like the caramel and vanilla and then fading into a spice. It's just kind of throughout, just kind of rides along with it the
All the
whole
way
time.
across.
It's a
Nice.
nice one though. I enjoy
And
it.
if I'm not mistaken, the Breckenridge is not too hard on the wallet either. No.
I
No,
It's
not
been so
here.
long. I mean, if I paid for this bottle like 5 or more years ago, then it wasn't too hard on the wallet.
Yeah.
That part's a guarantee. I don't remember what I spent.
I don't
though.
think
It
I've ever
wasn't that much.
seen a Breckenridge more than $50.
Yeah, if
No,
I paid 50,
you're right on with
that'd
that.
probably be about right.
And
Yeah.
McHenry, my local that I frequent quite a bit, they have a good selection of the different Breckenridges. So yeah, it's available and it's a solid pour.
Yeah, that would be a great bottle to either gift or to take to an event and be perfectly okay with leaving it. And
Yeah.
you probably will see the bottom of it before you leave the event, tell you the truth.
Right.
If you have some good connoisseurs there, who can appreciate it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to beat your, if it's not expensive, like you guys are saying, then like this is going to go head and shoulders above a lot of things that you would find at that price point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's one of those, like I said, it's
And
a
it is
solid
easy to
pour,
drink.
but you don't hear a lot of people talking about it,
Yeah.
which makes
Well,
it nice.
You know what? Let's leave it that way before it gets overhyped and somebody
Exactly.
decides to
And
run
somebody
up the
messes
price
it
on
up.
us.
Exactly.
Because the one thing I've had a few bottles of Breckenridge, and because of all the other stuff and me being busy, the fact that you showed me that bottle makes me realize how much I miss it. And it's kind of been out of sight, out of mind. So it's one of those things where you be like, yeah, I forgot about Breckenridge.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I came so close to making that the topic of like, what have you found like in the back of your collection or whatever that's got dust on it because you haven't drank on it in so long, but it was never a bad bottle. You just haven't seen it in a minute. Like, what's that thing? I would have said this if that was the topic today, but I was following what Chuck said and basically going like, well, what aren't you going to chase after, like these new drops and things like that? That is the actual topic for tonight.
Okay.
And for me, because he was talking about they're releasing a new 100 proof Sazerac product. I guess the Sazerac Rye 100 proof suggested retail price is going to be $30. Do I want to find this at $30? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Am I going to pay $50 for it? No, I am not.
No.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the key. It's like, what are you chasing and why? And what are you not chasing and why? Like, what is it? Is it the reputation, say, of the product, for example? Is it, is it the price point? So again, like, for example, this Sazerac product, I happen to like Sazerac Rye, but I'm not gonna get bent over for a bottle of Sazerac Rye either.
Oh.
So it's like, if I find it and the price is unreasonable to me, then it's something on that. I ain't chasing that kind of list for me. And that's sort of what we're trying to do here, with the topic. So, Gino, are there any like that for you?
There's really not much that I'm chasing at all. I'm interested. Like, I would like to find that Sazerac 100.
Yeah.
I do like Sazerac. It's a solid rye. It's not my favorite rye, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'll have it on occasion. I've got a bottle on my shelf. But there's hardly anything that I could actually say that I'm really chasing. But I keep an eye out. If I find it and I feel that it's reasonably priced, I'll grab it.
Is there anything? Maybe the better way to phrase this. Sorry to interrupt you. It may help provide a more useful discussion about it, because I don't think any of us are really like hunters, so to speak, in terms of like, well, I have to have this bottle. I'm going to go to 7 different liquor stores looking for it. Like, we don't do that shit. And nothing on anybody who does. We're just not that crew,
Yeah.
But is there a bottle that you would otherwise be interested in? There's something about it that made you go, I don't know if I'm really going to look for that one.
Well, there are some favorites of mine that I always look for that come out occasionally. One of them is Smooth Ambler's Founder Series Cast Strength Rye.
Okay.
It only comes out like once a year. And I know it's a locality thing up here. That's a West Virginia distillery. That is their stuff. It's not MGP that they blend. It's really their stuff.
Smooth Ambler's up there? I didn't know that.
Smooth Ambler is West Virginia.
I did not
But
know.
a lot of their stuff, like the Old Scout, is all sourced. And that's the reason for it. They're scouting for stuff. They bring it back. They do their blend. They do their finishing and stuff on it, which is good. But their Founder Series is their juice. And it is one that I always look for. And yes, I will buy it when I find it.
You were waiting for that dog noise and shit. Yeah. Molly, she heard Klaus, the other one, bark. Who the hell knows what? and she
I've
doesn't
got
know
four
what's
of-
going on, but you heard barking. I gotta let her ask.
I've got 4 of those, and one of them is a 13-year-old pug who can't see
Wow.
more than 5. Can't see more than 5 feet in front of him. But all he has to do, that one dog barks, and I term it the parade of idiots,
Yeah.
because the one dog barks, and
It sets them all off.
who the hell speaks dog? But there's something about the one bark, and all of a sudden, all of them,
The
go,
domino
run. We
effect.
gotta,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
The
are we
parade of
barking
idiots
about?
is
I
what
don't know.
call
Who
it.
cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're here to
What a
bark.
comment, I missed it. Hey, look at that. Chuck. Yeah, I would say a $1,500
Yeah, that's a
bottle.
hard. That's not even a hard pass. That's a
BH
pass.
Taylor Distillers Council bottle and bond 100 proof for $1,500
There's no way.
for a bottle and bond.
There's no way.
I can't. Yeah, I hear you, Chuck. Sorry, I'm a little
That's
late
one of those
catching-
ones you see it there on the shelf. You see it on the shelf. You see the price tag. You chuckle to yourself, and you move right along.
Yeah. I look at that shit and I go, that's fucking fun.
Yeah,
That's
no.
somebody, maybe somebody will enjoy that. I don't know, but I could never enjoy it for that at that price point.
And for me, I will say this. So a lot of things have changed for me, I would say, over the last 1.5 to 2 years. Stuff with family, especially stuff with business, myself being more into my mental and emotional health.
I hear that.
The last thing I would do is chase any bottle because, like you said, we're just not that
It's not worth
crew.
it.
If I would be interested in anything, I would love to maybe get my hands on 2 bottles of the Eagle Rare 12,
Sure.
just so I could pop one and I can have one in the chamber, so to speak. But outside of that, I've gotten to the point to where I'm not going to say my interests have changed because I still love bourbon. I still love cigars. I'm always looking at different bottles and stuff like that. But I'll be perfectly honest. You can tell you, I don't have anything that's outrageously rare, if you will. And what I've come to the conclusion of, I got so much stuff right now that before I start adding more bottles, I need to kind of go through some of the. Rob sent me a bottle of something. I kid you not. Probably 3 years ago, and I still haven't gotten to it.
It sounds like you're in a position you don't really need to be looking for more liquor to buy.
Exactly.
And especially now because of my schedule, I'm
Right.
even more busier. So, your everyday sippers, the Michters, the US 1, the Knob Creek 9, the Woodford Reserve, stuff you can get anywhere, any day of the week, everyday sippers. It's more along the lines of where I'm falling right now. Also, I've never been into crowd surfing, if you will. So I'm not moving with what everybody's moving with. And I think that's one of the reasons I love this group so much, because we're not chasers like that. We're not trends. We don't follow, it's like anybody on social media, you'll see somebody doing a certain TikTok dance or Instagram this, using a certain song, and it's like everybody uses until it's wore out. So I find myself not wanting to do that, but even more so, at one point, I was really chasing a bottle of Stag Senior, and the cheapest I ever seen it here was like $500, and I was willing to pay it.
Yeah,
maybe even a little bit more. But then I start to realize, you know what? I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Don't you start to think of all the other
what else
shit
could
you
I
can
do for that with that $500?
With $500, what
and
could
so
you do?
we talk about what else we could do with it for ourselves, for our families. But for somebody who's in business, I have to be so much aware of every single penny, And when you're in a position where I'm at, where I have to wear a lot of hats, time and money are equally important. And depending on the time of the day, one's a little bit more important than the other.
Sure.
With that being said, let me make this announcement as well. I want to make it known only because I believe it's fair, and it's been a great help to getting the container location up and going to where I want it. We're not going to go into details, but my guy Gino has a vested interest in Cafe 305 Barbecue. He
Nice.
stuff,
has
man.
a stake in the business, so I want that to be known. That is a real thing.
And
And that's
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. For those 5 or 6 people that may be watching us, if you haven't tried Cafe 305, you guys are so missing out. That is the sauce.
thank you. And so when I think about stuff like that, being a responsible adult who's really adulting, you realize you're not playing with house money anymore. Somebody else
No.
has an interest in your business.
Yeah.
So if I say, do I spend $500 to $800 on a bottle, or do I take care of my investors?
Right.
So,
I think
but
you're
just hear me out.
yeah,
Just
you're
hear me
good.
out for a second. It's one of those things where that bottle, once you spend the money and once you crack that seal, the value goes like this. You know, the
Yeah.
stupidness I hear people selling half bottles and empty bottles, and
Mhm.
I listen, you could never, I would never. So for me, the choice is obvious. Let me take care of the people who have taken their hard-earned money and bought into my dream. And so, not going off too much on a tandem, but just understand as an entrepreneur, when somebody else believes in you enough to take money out of their own piggy bank, you're responsible to
Mhm.
them. So, it's a thing no matter how small you are or big you are. I have to think about my wife, my kids, my family, people who invested in me. So while I am the face of the company, I can't be out there kicking people and beating up people on the streets because that's an image problem.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if
It's your
I'm not
brand, you know?
right, but now
Exactly.
it's somebody else's brand now as well. My wife being
Yeah.
in law enforcement, everybody knows it's partially her
You
business.
gotta stay, yes, squeaky
So
clean.
exactly, and then and I always think about it like this from an entrepreneur state. People who invest in you, I'm not talking about emotionally or whatever. I'm talking about people taking money out of their own pockets and giving to you. You owe them.
I
You,
feel
You
that.
know,
you do to an extent because here's what it is. Nobody on the face of the planet, not even your own spouse, is obligated to be into everything that you're into. I'm very fortunate. My wife drinks bourbon with me. She smokes cigars with me. She goes jeeping with me, and she's in the business with me. I can I really
That's fully
actually
invested. That is fully invested.
so
You know
I
what I
have a
mean?
responsibility to her.
Absolutely.
But if I
yeah.
start to get more people who want to invest in this company, it's like we're not gonna go into it, but everybody's seen these two dumb nuts at the Coldplay concert
Who
who
Oh
got
yeah.
caught.
are those
The-
people? I know obviously
he
someone's like
was
a
some.
So
He
he
was
was the
some
CEO or
CEO of
something like that.
something.
and she
Yeah.
was head of HR. I don't think two worse
Dude,
people could have gotten together.
that's fucking hilarious.
And if you think about it, we're talking about shareholders and
Yeah.
being
yeah.
responsible. That company has an obligation to its shareholders. And that little 15-second clip
Mhm.
will cause irreparable damage to that company.
Hmm.
So, as the CEO, you're not being responsible. So,
I
for
s-
me, if we revert back to the subject, I, I I understand I'm small and whatnot, but I could not be responsible spending $800 on a bottle that's not going to do anything for our business. Because I say ours because I'm not the only one invested now. So
yeah, I hear that.
you have to be a good steward of the things. And again, I'm not knocking anybody else. if you're a hunter, if you're a collector, if you just a aficionado, you want to
Yeah, it's
enjoy
not
it,
hate. Yeah.
cool, do your
No,
thing. I'm not gonna ever tell
that's it.
anybody you're bad for doing what you want to do, as long as you're not
It's just
hurting
not my
anybody.
thing.
But
Yeah.
like you said, we're not that crew. So I could not justify it even more so now. I
Yeah.
could not justify. Listen, a $30 bottle is not going to hurt anything. But now
Right.
you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8.
When it starts adding up
Yeah,
like that, it starts to kind of gnaw at you whether or not this is
Yeah.
really what
And
you should be doing with that
and then
amount of
and
money.
he
You know what I
also,
mean?
the
yeah,
other thing about it too, the
It's
way
not
I
play
look at
money
it,
anymore.
the other thing that I look at it too, like Billy's talking, you spend that $800 in that bottle, and then every time I pull that cork, it's like, damn, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You know what I
that's
mean?
yeah, and you're a little hesitant to pull that cork, or at least
Oh,
I am,
no, I get
because
that.
I've got
Yeah.
that kind of money invested into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't do that.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, like I said, I just had my fraternity's alumni reunion, and I did not bogart those guys. Brought down with me some of the top of my collection that I got,
Right.
Yeah,
and
I go hard
I
with that.
didn't.
Like
It
I'll
was
come
one of
for
those
real.
things. It's like they would see that, it's like, oh, yes, I've got that, and here, have a
Yeah.
Yeah.
pour.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So for
here, enjoy
me,
this.
I won't be doing any kind of chasing. I need to go through some of my stuff and finally get to it. And then again, it's about being responsible on a different level. Um, because I've never been at this point to where somebody who was not related to me as who who has enough confidence in me and the
Mhm.
product to be like here. And listen, not unless we're talking about the Gates and the Elons.
Mhm.
Everybody, money's money. Everybody's shit is tight. I don't care who you are.
Is
You
what it
know,
is.
so I can't sit here and play with house money like that. I won't do it because it's one of those things of being a good steward that I think we learn from the boomers as Gen
Mhm.
Xers, you know, because if you look at the generations that's coming up now, a lot of them is not good steward of the things that they have. Kids don't
Oh
realize
no.
how much they have the world by the balls right now. And it's easy because we as parents seem to make it easy for them, but my kids have no idea how much their cell phone bill is. If I was to say, "Hey,
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh
just
yeah,
tell me
seriously.
how much it is," get me in a ballpark, they wouldn't know where to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, exactly.
If I say, "Tell me how much we spent in food in the last week," they would know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I get it. These are things we're supposed to do, but as a parent, there's no law that says I have to put you through college. You
Right.
know, so it's one of those things. But again, you know, as a crew, we're just not into that. I think we can drink just about anything when we're sitting around with each other, and we can enjoy ourselves. We're
Yeah.
not showing off the Rolexes and the steering wheel of the Ferrari type crew. That's not
Yeah,
us.
Yeah.
I've never understood them. People who do that, people who have expensive things so they can show them off. It's those people
Attention.
always make me laugh. It's like, wh- why is your life so empty that this is what you find fulfillment in? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really understand that. Like, I mean,
Look at
it's one
me.
thing to
Look at
enjoy
me.
those things.
It's like, look at me. Look at me. Here, look at me.
Do you
Give me
think
Right.
the attention that I want. You
do you
know?
think they're doing it so that they don't when they get like positive attention and praise and jealousy and whatever, assuming that they do, like does that like make them feel like they didn't make a mistake by spending that much money on that stuff? Like,
I
ooh,
think they
I
do.
have what everybody else wants, so it was a good call.
Well,
I
You
think
know what
they
I mean?
do.
and I think
I,
I really don't
people
understand it.
experience success differently,
Sure.
you know? So me having somebody who's vested in a company, that was that was like a high that I'm still riding on,
Yeah.
you know, because it wasn't a material thing, but knowing that somebody believes in you that they're willing to do that is an amazing thing. You know, my guy Mike, who's fabricating my two 500-gallon smokers, I showed you guys the pictures.
Mhm.
Oh,
When
those
he
are
sends me
beasts.
pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I will spend the next 4 days just
Mhm.
looking at every detail. And I don't even go
Doodling
down
it.
to his shop because he's only like 20 minutes from me, because I know Mike does things in a certain manner. He has a certain level of OCD. And when he calls me and be like, hey, come pick this thing up, get it out of my shop, I know that thing is gonna be at the peak of perfection. And I can only imagine I'm gonna probably be sitting outside for 3 days like a crackhead just looking at it, like getting high off of it. But
That's hilarious.
I think, and this is just me, I don't know if I've ever found value in material things. I personally don't own any gold. Everything I own that you consider jewelry wise is stainless steel. I have this necklace that I've had for more than 10 years. Stainless steel. I bought it from Ross for like 17 bucks.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if you gave me an $80,000 Rolex, I'm gonna just take it to the jeweler, sell it back to him, and put the money in my business account because
I hear it, yeah.
I'd rather have the cushion
It's
than the watch.
especially with a watch, it's
Yeah.
like it's super expensive. I'd be afraid of. So I had one. It was like
Exactly.
a not even fancy. It was like a Zodiac or something like that. It was a nicer watch, but nothing ostentatious, right? And I was constantly afraid when I wore it that I was going to nick it on something. I was going to bang it too hard against a door frame or whatever. And there'd be little moments like that where something like that would happen. Some little bump or something like that. And I
Yeah.
would obsess about it. And
Well,
it's like, that line from Fight Club, the things you own end up owning you. Like,
Yeah.
and I felt like,
Yeah.
I was just strapping something to my arm that I had to worry about constantly. And when I eventually stopped wearing it, like it didn't even break or nothing. I just stopped wearing it after, I guess, a few years. And like, I
Yeah.
never missed it, And I was
You
like,
know, and it makes perfect sense. In the average week, I can't even tell you how many times I stick my hand inside a firebox that's probably every bit of 600-700 degrees, roaring fire.
mm-hmm.
I just don't know if a Rolex would fare too well with me.
It doesn't sound like those were. I don't think those.
no.
I don't think those. That's a
Rolex
good
wasn't
combination
thinking
at
about
all.
that shit when they started putting this
No.
shit
They weren't thinking
together.
about fireboxes, for
Yeah,
barbershop
so
stuff.
it's
And
it's
that was
weird like that,
yeah, I could
and
never own one because I break watches. This is the
yeah,
watch. This little Samsung
Yeah,
smartwatch it's been the one that's held up the most. And
and
this thing's almost bulletproof.
I
yeah.
But the
gave
other
my
watches, I break them and I destroy them
I gave my
just because
Apple
of what I do.
Watch to the youngest like two
Uh-huh.
years ago. I had the thing. I kid you not, guys. I think I had the thing for a month, and I was
Uh,
just so tired of it. It's beeping, pissing, cursing. I'm like,
uh,
Jesus Christ! I just want to know what time it is.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah,
My brother. So my brother just he had his birthday yesterday. He just turned. I think it's 32.
Nice.
And my folks got him a new phone, new smartphone. The microphone on his phone broke, and it was broken for years, and he didn't care.
Oh,
I was like, the
okay.
phone's a phone, right? Like for making phone calls where you speak on it to talk to other people. That sometimes we use phones as a phone. Did you know that?
yeah. Listen, I think the iPhone 17 is supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah,
They
I
already
got the
started talking
16.
about it.
It's
This is this is an 11.
Yeah, my
And
last one was a 10, and I drowned it in the hot tub, and I still kept
so
using it until the battery blew up.
I got a case on it, but the screen on the back of this phone has actually been cracked. Like
I feel
maybe like a year after I got the thing.
that's hilarious.
Yep.
So I don't care. And I think what I value more is relationships, especially now that I've been on this emotional and mental journey of trying to be a better dude. I'm learning the people in my life are so much more valuable than I could ever put a price on something.
hmm
So I have my wife, I have Candace, who runs the socials and all that stuff. And without them two, Cafe 305 would not be where it's at today. When they tell me something, I'm like, okay, I guess, you
Yeah.
know. And it's nice because it's things I don't have to worry about. And it's nice to know that those relationships. I tell you guys, my logo was designed by a woman, a high school classmate of mine. So we're still great friends to this day. You know,
Well, she did a
so
good job.
or
Yes, she
and
did.
Yeah.
you know, it was one of those things where when she came up with it back in 2013, I said, I'll make you a promise. Two things. When I copyright the logo or trademark the logo, your name will be in the government's book that you designed this logo because
Nice.
they ask you in the application
Right.
process if you designed it. And if not, then who did? So, like, the credit is there for her. Also, like I said, I promised her it would never change. This was years ago. I had somebody make business cards for me, and I sent her a vector file of the logo. And when she sent me a sample of the card, I picked up the phone and told her I'm no longer interested in working with her because
Huh.
she had changed the logo.
Oh,
And I wasn't mean. I didn't yell.
no,
And she's
it's
like,
not what I'm looking for.
"Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. What happened?" And I said, "Same thing I'm telling you guys. The person who designed this, I made them a promise that I will never change the logo. And you changed the logo." And she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can go back." I was like, "No, no, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go our separate ways. Just tell me if I owe you anything." So for me, I'm dead serious. Now, in some
Yeah.
things like when you're doing a neon sign or you're making a metal sign, you can't get all the little details like you get in the sweater in the print. So
True.
I'm okay with that, you know?
Right. Yeah. It has to be a
But
That's
rendition of it.
different.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah.
different.
But like no, if the logo is not bleeding cowboy, it's not the font, you're
Yeah.
fired. I'm so sorry. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I've learned. If I'm gonna hunt anything, if I'm gonna chase anything, I'm gonna chase the relationships that I've developed, like with you guys, the things that I've learned from you guys since I've been on the show. Um, I'm not gonna say hunting bottles is stupid, but I think it's a very irrelevant thing. I don't think chasing bottles gonna ever save a life.
No, no, it's not. I mean, it's so there's lots of hobbies out there that are not necessarily constructive, right? I think the thing
True.
about whiskey in particular is because it is such an expensive hobby by
Yes.
comparison to many others. You're either expensive bottles, fancy cars, right? The fancy watches. Like this kind of rarefied air that some folks enjoy breathing, and if they can,
Yeah.
that's great for them. I'm an appreciator of liquor, right? I used to
Right.
joke when backwards. I embrace a larger view of the force, right? I'm not particular to bourbon or rye or whiskey or
Yeah.
whatever, like or rum. Like I kind of enjoy it all. You can stick a PBR in my hand, I'm gonna be happy. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I'm here to enjoy and have a good time, right?
Right.
And I think some of that gets lost with folks that chase. They become a little too elitist to like even really have fun with it anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
The,
So
the
there's
secondary
one thing.
market
Yeah,
in
the
the
whole thing.
I'm not driving 3 states over. I'm down in damn near the bottom of Florida. It's gonna take
Yeah,
me 9 hours just to get out of this motherfucker. You think I'm driving 3 other
right.
states after I leave
Yeah,
here?
no.
You're out of your goddamn mind.
Exactly. For
There's
me,
no
the fun,
way.
the fun, the fun and adventure is, I'm in this new place. Oh, hey, there's a distillery here, or there's a brewery here I've never even heard of. I'm gonna go check it out. If I
Yep.
like it, I might have a few pints. I might buy a damn T-shirt before I leave.
Right.
Like that kind of
Mhm.
thing. Like I do that stuff all the time when I travel. Like that's the fun thing. Or I would go. Like when I did my trip. When I was coming back from Pittsburgh down here, stopped in Columbus. I went to Middle West. Like that was awesome. I get to check out the Middle West distillery. Picked up a bottle, brought it back with me. But would I go to Columbus, Ohio, just to go to Middle West? No, I would not do that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the difference.
And again, it's the relationship, the memories, me, you, and Jody at Uncle Nearest, that was
Absolutely.
hilarious. It's something that we'll
I
never
hope you come
forget.
back, man, and you too,
No,
Gino. We
no,
got to do this
for
again.
sure.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's like,
that's on the agenda.
I haven't been back since, honestly, and I've been trying to.
recently I got to sit down when Chuck was here in town, and we went and had dinner. We went and had some drinks, and it was phenomenal. It was like it wasn't about the money we spent because it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was the experience in kindling that relationship.
Sharing that experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could ever feel that way about getting a bottle of
No,
Stag Senior.
Yeah, and
no, because
there's one thing I will
they-
say about it, and this is with hats off to Jay Cooper, who I know doesn't really participate with the show very often, but he's a friend of ours, with Nashville Bar. When I would go to his his group stuff, like the monthly meetings, and he shows up with 15-year Calumet or whatever, however you say it. It's like a super expensive bottle, right? Like this is maybe 1,000 and up kind of thing, or at least several hundred, right? And just here, everybody try it. You have, around everybody, and we're all trying this thing that's super rare, and delicious, and he was just happy to do it,
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing, that kind of like just sort of free expression of, I want to enjoy this. The best way to enjoy something this fine is among friends, and that's, he really nails that shit. And I admire him for it. So
yeah, and I've never been a part of any secondary group. I don't have the wherewithal for it. Forget about the money part. But unless it's among us as a group, I'm not gonna sit here and pack something up and pray it gets to you on time, pray that you pay me and all this. And listen, I'm sorry. Even when I really started getting bottles and stuff like that, even something as simple as Buffalo Trace, people were being stupid about it. And it was crazy because
you see it all the time.
I remember I was this was Bourbon Nation. That's what it was, man. Before they kicked me out of that group for some unknown reason. A guy was like, "Hey, you get Buffalo Trace down there?" I was like, "Yeah, Costco has it for $20 a bottle." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You want a couple bottles?" And I was like, "You just pay for shipping and whatever the bottles cost, I'll send you to." But that's like the most I'm gonna do, unless I have something like in my possession already. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. It's not a thing for me. And honestly, if I had $1 billion in a bank, I'd probably dress the same.
People who have $1 billion in the bank usually do. They usually,
yeah.
Have you ever known people who are like legit old money? Like, most of them are really fucking low key about it. Like,
yeah,
super low key about it.
I'd be the same. And that reminds me, this is when Ellen DeGeneres was big and whatever. She had a talk show. I'll never forget the picture because somebody pointed out in the economics thing that was going on. So she's in the middle and she's holding up a $20 bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of rappers and whoever knows standing around her. They're posing in this group photo. Mm-hmm. One guy has a stack of money like this. Another guy has money all fanned out. It's all hundreds. Mm-hmm. And the caption was, the richest person in this picture is holding a $20 bill. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So people who have that kind of wealth, they don't, unless they're going out for some event. Like Bezos fucking rented out half of Italy the other day for a fucking wedding or some shit.
Right.
But like, have you ever seen Bill Gates walking around with a $600 belt on?
No.
It's bullshit.
But, you wouldn't really think to look. Like maybe he's got the $600 belt. What he doesn't have is the $6,000 belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it's those kind of subtleties that those kinds of folks tend to live with. and actually to your point, especially about rappers, I used to watch like documentaries on like MTV and shit like that about, some guy just gets signed, puts out a music video. He's basically rented all of the shit for the music video to make himself look like he's richer in hell. And the reality is it's just it's all smoke and mirrors, basically, all the money he's throwing around, the gold chains and the cars and the girls and all that shit. That's all it's just a fucking act. But people treat that shit like it's real. And that's like sort of like,
it's funny because
hyperbolic or whatever.
They used to say it's all smoke and mirrors with those videos, but now it's all rentals and repos.
Exactly. Facts.
Yep.
So it's weird like that, but I just don't think I could ever, if I had to splurge on something, I'd probably buy myself a really nice truck.
Yeah.
I don't need it 6 feet off the ground even, but like if Cadillac made a truck, like an actual pickup truck, and the thing was like 80, 90 grand, I might consider buying it. But I have no use for a Rolls Royce Phantom. I have no use for a Bugatti Veyron, because first and foremost,
you just be afraid of something happening to it.
Where am I driving at?
That's me. I would be too afraid to drive it because it's like, like it's so fancy and so nice that you're afraid of anything happening to it, and you just want to, just protect it and hoard. Like a lot of collectors do. They collect a bunch of bourbon and they don't drink it. There's a guy I work with. The guy used to be my. We're well past time.
I never understand that, but go ahead.
And he talks about collecting and this and that. And he's like, I'm going to get this and I'll have this, and he's just trying to build his numbers and stuff like that. And I'm like, don't do that. Buy shit because you enjoy drinking it. But as you start to develop a collection, it's like, I want a sip of this tonight. I want a sip of that tonight. Pour this, pour here, and like your collection kind of it holds together better when you have more. It's true, but like, don't buy something with the thought that it's so nice you're never going to drink it.
No, absolutely. But here's the kicker.
I mean,
we'll get back to it. So here's the thing, especially where I live at, you get more head turns with a vintage tag than you would with a 2025 LaFerrari here in Miami. Nobody cares about a LaFerrari in Miami. But if you had a 72 Lincoln drop top with suicide doors on it, now you finna drop some panties in South Florida. I'm just
got to be black. It's got to be black.
That with the white walls and everything else.
Yeah, buddy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That will kill. Can you imagine that car just utterly and totally shitting on like 6 Ferraris and Lambos parked in front of the hotel? Just shitting on like whatever.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck about anything.
They would move the Ferraris out the way and put the Lincoln in the front.
Yep.
They really would. And getting back to the whole bourbon thing, again, collecting, if it's your thing, it's your thing. Cool. Never gonna knock that. But I think the purpose of having something is to get some enjoyment out of it. And I'm sorry, you get zero enjoyment out of bourbon that's still corked and sealed.
Exactly.
Boom.
You get zero enjoyment out of it. And here's the thing, prime example. When I first moved in here, I put up these shelves with my shitty construction skills, and the fucking thing fell. And I lost a couple bottles. The goddamn Blanton survived. I lost, and I don't know if you guys remember the Sexton bottle.
Yeah.
That square, that thing put a dent. It broke a tile and did not break itself.
Yes.
So, imagine if I would have had
Irish whiskey in it.
Right. So imagine if I would have had Stags, Poppy, all these different things.
Imagine how devastating that would have been,
Oh God.
It's bad enough, right? But like,
And let me tell you, that shelf fell like 2:00 in the morning where it was dead silent. I swear to God, I reached over and grabbed my Peacemaker and I was like, oh shit, that was my shelves falling. So my saving grace was I didn't get to see it fall. I just got to see the aftermath.
You just got to hear it, See the chaos.
So, but collecting bourbons has never been. I can't wrap my brain around that. Why are you going to spend that kind of money just to sit there and look at that bottle?
It doesn't. And I will say this, like Chuck's about to
Yeah,
say.
exactly what
Oh.
Chuck just said.
He read my mind.
You were already on it, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and the thing of it is, my family, not that I have anything comparable to like some of these other people, like these collectors that you see out there, but if they're not into bourbon, they're going to get online, they're going to find out how much it's worth, and they're going to sell your shit for pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
I mean, pennies on the dollar. So if the goddamn Blanton is worth 200, hey, you know what? Give me 75 because he's got 40 of them. Just give me 75.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, you might will it to somebody who will take more value and stock in it, but
Probably.
excuse me, I'm not going to remember any of my friends by the material things that they have. I'm going to remember them by the memories that we share.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. I feel that. But we are past time here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I've just kind of enjoyed the ride. I don't know if you guys realize, but I've been playing a little bit of lo-fi hip hop in the background.
Yeah.
That the little background music track. I've just enjoyed that. This feels like a peaceful vibe. I want to see if we can get some more music on, because this is like just what this StreamYard gives you, but you can add more stuff in. So maybe like there's like different stuff in here. Like some of the stuff's better than others.
It sounds weird, but so I don't like noise in the morning. So when I start off my day 11, 12 o'clock at night, I pop in my earbuds and I put on smooth jazz. I swear some of my best cooks I've had is when I've had smooth jazz in my ear. You know, I
last vibe basically.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I love hip hop, especially the classic stuff. Mm-hmm. But I hate noise in the morning. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, this is lo-fi. This is like instrumental. It's just I'll turn it up so right here, but
no, but like that's the kind of stuff I can dig. Yeah.
I love it. Like I'll go out in my hot, which I'm not gonna have a hot tub for much longer, I don't think. I'll go out in my hot tub. I put in my little my little Bluetooth, just sit out there, look at the stars,
and just chill.
Stuff like this. Just chill, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pour a little drink.
Dude, I'm kind of like Billy. Like in the mornings, I'm up way before my wife. We're empty nesters. There's no one here but us and the dogs, and that's what I do. I'm up at the crack of damn dawn every day. And that's the first thing I do is I'll pop in my earbuds. They're over the ear. I can't stand anything in the ear. But yeah, and I will tune up like Sirius XM.
Yeah.
But I'll tune up Sirius XM and just have the music playing, got my ear things on, and I go about my day. And it's peaceful, it's quiet. I'll enjoy my coffee. I'll do what I need to do. But I need that quiet time where I am zoning to my music and getting stuff done that I want to get done. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So, you know, it's just, I think it's enjoyment. And again, guys, I really enjoy when we get together like this, even if sometimes if it's just 3 of us, 4 of us. This is a reliever for me, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I know I miss, and I hate missing the show, but it's one of those things when we get together, I really enjoy you guys. I really do.
Yeah, I'm doing this for us. Again, not for our minuscule audience or whatever. Yeah.
Where the hell? We missed Daniel Sperry didn't show up tonight.
Yeah, no Daniel, no little fast.
I hope he's okay.
Just us, gentlemen, just us.
That's okay.
But it's all beautiful. We got Godfather beautiful in the background. It's all good.
That's right. Yeah, he's watching, you know. But good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here. We are 10 past the hour. I've enjoyed this.
I got an early day tomorrow or tonight, I should say.
Yeah, I'm back on that 6 a.m. shit. But
hey,
so it goes. Yeah, shut up, Jay. Enjoy your retirement, but shut up.
And yeah, hold on.
Listen, I was working. Highly recommended.
Before we take off, Gino, listen. You're my boy. You're my man, 100 grand. But goddamn, you need to learn to sleep in late.
Seriously.
Guys, for years when I was
You set an
working,
alarm, or does you just wake up early?
I wake up and when I'm up at 5 o'clock, I've slept in. Believe me, because my normal wake up was about 3:30. I get up, do my workout, shower, do some breakfast.
If I sleep in legit, I will probably sleep until 6:30.
Yeah,
maybe.
I will.
That's anymore.
And the thing about that, when I sleep in that late,
I hate it.
it's like, oh shit, I've wasted all this time in bed. It's like, yeah, no, I gotta get, no.
No, but that's the thing. You got to turn that part of your brain off and go, no. If I slept in this late, that's because my body needed this rest.
Right.
And I need to recognize.
Yeah, when me and the wife went away, it was like, okay, and we left on a Monday, so it wasn't even like a weekend. We went from Monday to Thursday, and it was weird because on Mondays I'm getting ready to make my prep list, to do my shopping, stuff like that, go pick up at the warehouse, and I slept to 8 o'clock.
Oh shit!
And I woke up, I sat up in the bed, was like,
what day is it?
And I'm looking around.
Shit.
So you can imagine now, my whole environment is different. It's super cold in the room. And my wife is, what is wrong with you? I slept at 8 o'clock. Holy shit, Batman.
I know.
Exactly.
It's like, oh damn, I gotta get.
That's like the equivalent of like 3 in the afternoon for you.
Yeah, exactly. But
I feel that. We'll try to sleep in every once in a while.
Yeah,
you can try it too, man. Yeah, for us, sleep in a little, man.
I listen.
Try it. It just doesn't work.
Before I took my little sabbatical from drinking, I was having to drink every morning for you guys.
You know what? You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
You don't start in the morning.
Boom.
Sometimes I start at 11 o'clock at night.
You was just getting a jump on your day.
That's it. So instead of letting the day get a jump on me.
Exactly.
Going and get it.
That shit. Oh, man. But yeah, I got to get out of here. Much love to you guys. It is good seeing y'all.
Yes,
happy and healthy. Y'all take care of yourselves. Just keep being beautiful. Drive like you know each other. And guys, we'll see you next week.
All right, good gentlemen. Be good to yourselves.
Enjoy.
Have a good one. Later, guys.